Because in no universe do you build Don Johnson, star of Miami Vice, above star of Angel Heart and Barfly, Mickey goddamn Rourke. Ain't that right, Father Malone?
You're goddamn right, man. Ain't a television star getting over on a movie star. Just don't happen in the late 80s, early 90s. There was hierarchy in place.
What are you thinking, Don Johnson? I mean, you know, other than the fact that Don Johnson feels like the more interesting character in the movie. But hey, you know what? We get two characters. We get two very different but the same character. Different characters. Mickey Rourke and Don. I'd say that the title of the movie is a perplexing one.
Oh, isn't it?
It is Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man. So this is this is the Kulturecast. I'm still your host, Chris Stachiw. I'm joined by my good friend of Noise Junkies, Father Malone.
Hey, everybody. I don't have anything fun to say.
And guess what, folks? This isn't a movie anybody programmed. Father Malone was like, have you ever seen it? I was like, nope. He's like, we're doing it then. So
goddamn right we are.
So a little bonus episode, as one might say, for Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man.
Harley. Marlboro. If you want to ride their road, you gotta know the rules. Never play cowboy.
School's out, boys.
In a room full of Indians.
It's better to be dead and cool than alive and uncool.
Never go into a bar.
I can't watch this.
Unless you're willing to get smashed.
You're doing pretty good under there.
Never ride a Brahma bull.
Strap on your seatbelt, get ready to fly.
When you can take a bus.
Does that look like the work of two-bit hoods?
Yeah, pros would have used my keys.
Never rob a bank.
Get back what's mine and kill these men, okay?
Run by bigger crooks than you.
Hey man, that's what friendship's all about.
Never resist an arresting officer.
Okay, cowboy, let's blow off some steam.
We gotta talk to the man upstairs.
Stay on my tail.
No problem.
Never start at the bottom when you want the man on top. Never dive from the 20th floor.
We're gonna jump.
I hate you for this, Harley.
I hate you, Harley!
Unless the pool is full.
You guys are a piece of work.
Shoot him!
Mickey Rourke, Don Johnson, Harley Davidson, and the Marlboro Man.
I can't believe you shot me.
So it's directed by Simon Wincer, written by Don Michael Paul, and it stars, like we've mentioned already, Mickey Rourke and Don Johnson, along with, a very young Giancarlo Esposito, a pretty miscast Daniel Baldwin, and clothed. We'll talk about the clothing choices in the movie. They're at odds with one another, or everything together. And Tom Sizemore is there, Tia Carrera's there, and hey, Big John Studd, because why not? Because you needed a guy who's 7'1".
Kelly Who is in this movie? Who? Kelly Who?
Yeah, for two seconds. Yeah. Father Malone, I'm going to kick it to you before we talk about the movie proper. Why are we talking about a Don Johnson, Mickey Rourke buddy comedy movie from the early 90s that, as Mickey Rourke said, is the lowest point in his career, per him?
Okay, the way you just described the movie, doesn't that make you want to watch the movie?
I'm with you, but I'm just asking for people that can't see that as the reason.
They should watch this movie because of that description, first of all, and because it is a romp of a flick. It has major problems. We're going to get into the huge batshit crazy problems in this movie, but it features two incredibly likable leads. Anytime, there was a spate of buddy movies spawning after 48 Hours in the early 1980s. This is 91, but let's face it, it was probably written in 88, 89. So
totally.
It's the tail end of the buddy cop, the buddy criminal, the buddy whatever genre. Kind of puts a nail in the coffin of that genre for a while, it would seem, and probably with good reason. But my point about that is the actual genuine good parts of a good buddy film are found here in droves. The two leads are they have incredible chemistry, and any of the scenes just between the two of them are really good. The cast, as you said, just stretches into infinity for how absurd it is in both the talent on display and the misuse of that talent. It takes place in the future.
Sure. Though at some points I could be concerned that it doesn't, and it's just taking place in the 90s. It's
okay. The movie came out in 91, right? And it takes place in 96. I don't know why. There's no real good reason for it other than they like the idea of Kevlar clothing and thought that would be too superhero-y and comic booky. So they had to set it in the future because at some fundamental level, someone didn't understand that this is a comic book, this movie called Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man, for no good reason. There's no good reason for it.
And that's the thing. It's like, if you were trying to avoid that, you fucking walked head first into it. Because it sounds like a superhero movie, but with the two least exciting superheroes on the face of the planet, a motorcycle and a cigarette, or a cigarette smoking cowboy. Cool. The Marlboro Man, the term Marlboro Man is a very strange one to talk about in 2023, given the real
loaded
life
one, let's say.
Yeah. I mean, given the real life things about the real life Marlboro men dying because, they smoked all the fucking time.
Yeah. I mean, you say Marlboro Man now, it's, it's cancer. I mean,
right. Sam Elliott and Thank You for Smoking.
Right. But for a while, that iconic image of the Marlboro Man, this rugged thing, was in everyone's subconscious, just as this mythical figure who there must have been a Harley Davidson, right? So look, in a comic book, and I'm going to keep talking about comic books because this movie should have been a comic book and it had the wrong director to bring us there. In a comic book, those names, Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man, and their buddies Jack Daniels, that's Big John Studd's character, Jack Daniels, God. And their mute friend Jose Cuervo, and
it's the future, folks. Don't you get it? That's the only thing. That to me is what the futurism of the movie was. It was it was treading on the ground of Demolition Man, but it couldn't figure out how to get there, or it didn't have the budget to commit. Or maybe it's like Escape from Los Angeles, but not as successful in terms of creating an interesting setting.
It comes nowhere near the wit of Demolition Man. This movie,
right? No,
it tries. It's trying its little heart out, but it could never get there. The conceit of setting it 5 years in the future just so they can have fake drugs. Why fake drugs? Just use real drugs. Crystal Dream, is that what it is? Crystal Dream.
That reminded me of RoboCop 3.
Right. What was that? Nuke.
Tom Noonan is nuking himself. Yeah, Nuke and the giant robot. Yeah, that's the other thing. It's these future drugs. I don't know. This is
future drugs.
Yeah, it felt so 90s. But then again, it doesn't feel at all 90s. It doesn't take advantage of a neo-noir or whatever it's pretending to be. Because again, it feels like it's pretending to be things. But it's it can't figure out if it wants to do them, if it has the budget to do them, if anybody who's making the movie is actually interested in doing them. Because again, what the movie looks like is very different from what the movie is pretending it is.
Oh, yeah. Look, the movie promises just by the title that we're getting this grand, epic comic book version of America with all of our icons represented. And they lean into that to a degree, but not enough. That it should have been more pronounced. Every character they should have their pal McDonald's. They go over to McDonald's house to fence jewelry.
Ruby Tuesdays.
Right, yeah, go all the way with it. Make it completely absurd. The name is absurd, and it just hangs over the movie as why did they do it? Instead of they went fucking balls out, everyone is a fucking corporate mascot in the future.
Can I point out that what it really reminds me of in a lot of ways is just like the idea that like somehow the like it has that Demolition Man idea of like the corporatization of things leaches into reality. But what we get is the one of the funniest things about this movie is we get, what would it have been like if Mickey Rourke had ever played James Bond? He gives a James Bond line reading in his first scene in the movie. She's like, "What's your name?" Harley Davidson. And then he walks out. It's like, it's the Bond line reading moment, like for whatever reason. Like and it's just like, the name sounds so dumb that I chuckled when he said it. I was like, I know that's his name, but it doesn't change the fact that it sounds so goofy when a character says it.
Yeah, and it doesn't. Is it actually his name? See, this is by not making it more absurd. That it just calls for questioning. Like, is that his name? Like, we know Marlboro Man. His name is not Marlboro. His name is Robert.
Robert Marlboro Man Edison.
His middle name is not Marlboro Man.
No, but that's his like Marlboro Man is his nickname.
But see, they pussy out there at the end because they're like, no, well, not even at the end. When we meet his former flame and police antagonist, who, by the way, we'll get into the ending of this movie. Anyway, when he meets her, she starts calling him Robert right away. So now he's not Marlboro Man, which means Harley Davidson is probably not Harley Davidson, and Jack Daniels is probably not Jack Daniels. The lack of commitment to their own premise is this movie's ultimate downfall. That and those jackets, those Kevlar jackets, the pre-Matrix. By the way, is the Matrix
Nehru Kevlar jackets?
Yeah, there. Is the Matrix a remake of this movie?
I thought Equilibrium was a remake of this movie.
I don't know about that, but
collars. It's those collars.
Oh, the collars, sure, but the agents in black, unstoppable and lining up and shooting. We've got a helicopter rescue at the end of this movie with a machine gun, right?
Yeah.
People are jumping off buildings. I'm telling you, this is a flawed version of the Matrix.
And it has Daniel. Like, can we talk about Daniel Baldwin for a moment?
This is the Chat GPT version of the Matrix. It's the early version. It's just like, what do they like? They like Western people, Marlboro Man, like that came up in the Google search.
Give us something anachronistic that they can name themselves after. Yeah, like, oh, his name could have been Big Mac, and his friend, I don't know,
yeah,
Carl's Jr. Like, fuck off. Like, come on. Like, I don't know. It's so weird because, again, like the wit of Demolition Man, it feels like that's where they were going, but they're not interested in committing, or they're not even interested in having that conversation, which, again, is fine. But I guess my issue with this movie is Don Michael Paul doesn't write what this looks like on paper is more exciting than what it is in execution, because he's not that talented of a screenwriter.
It's not the best script ever.
No, but I'm just basing it off of the other things that he has worked on and written.
What are the other things he has worked on?
Tremors 5, Sniper Legacy, Kindergarten Cop 2, Cyborg, the Albert Pyun film, but he didn't write that one. Half Past Dead, which is a Steven Seagal movie that I have not seen, but he directed and wrote that one. He also wrote and directed Who's Your Caddy, starring Big Boy, Lil Wayne, Andy Milonakis, and Jeffrey Jones. So, and he also wrote and directed Tremors Shrieker Island, starring fucking John Heder, a.k.a. Napoleon Dynamite. So...
well, he is prolific, this fellow.
In the direct-to-video world.
He is, and I think this script sounds like his best. Harley Davidson, the Marlboro Man. Nevertheless, they maybe should have taken some of the $4 million they gave to Mickey Rourke and hired a other screenwriter to punch this up and turn it into a fun little action movie instead of the weird amalgam. And the script sinks the movie. Like the characters end up doing a bunch of boneheaded things for no good reason.
So Harley Davidson comes and finds Marlboro Man at a bar, and then they go to another bar where their friend owns the bar, and the bar is about to be taken away by the bank. And so they go and steal from the bank thinking it's money. They steal drugs, and then the drug dealers, read that as bankers in this universe, come and kill them, and then they go on the run, and because they're morons, they don't realize that they're being tracked the whole time and almost get themselves killed in Las Vegas, then go back to LA, and then the movie ends. It's like there are some parts in this movie that are so meandering. The scene in the junkyard, the airplane junkyard at the end of the movie is beyond meandering. And then there's another action scene that takes place in the baggage compartment of a plane.
Oh yeah, that scene's inexcusable.
Like everything to do with planes in this movie are the worst parts of this movie. In the baggage compartment of the plane, I swear to God, like I can't believe that's a scene in a movie. Like,
yeah,
straight up, it is inexcusable. And this movie's only 98 minutes long, but it's one of the worst things I've ever seen in a quote big budget Hollywood film.
How quaint back in 91 when the thought was that three goons dressed identically in gigantic puffy jackets with machine guns in their hands could just walk unhindered around a runway with planes going all around and baggage handlers going all around them. Oh boy. Yeah. And the sequence is ultimately pointless. It should be pointed out, if the thought of Burbank being turned into an international airport makes you laugh hysterically right now, then you're going to get this movie on a level that I don't think Chris and I did. But that's a joke.
I mean, is it a joke that Tia Carrera's in this movie? Like, she is, without a doubt, one of the most puzzling actresses I've ever seen in anything. Because anytime we don't tend to drag actors on this show because we understand in a lot of ways actors are sometimes being given a raw deal and they just can't do anything with bad source material. I have not seen Tia Carrera in anything that she has been able to show her acting prowess. So I think she just might not be that great of an actress. And in here, it just like why she's at least in this, she's just there.
Her best performance, because I don't think she says one thing the entire time. She just stands there in the background
and looks pretty, which is fine. Like, okay.
Which is how she got the job to begin with. So good for her. But you're correct. She is not the best thespian working in the industry.
No. But the sad thing is Don Johnson and Mickey Rourke are not bad actors. But anytime they're doing anything other than talking to each other, they cannot figure out how to carry this movie at all.
No, they're saddled with a big plot for not a lot of good. Look, okay.
A big plot, but ultimately not. It's like the biggest plot.
Here's the thing. Okay. So it's basically we've got to save the rec center of a plot.
It's Blues Brothers.
Right? Yeah. The orphanage. We got to get the money to save the orphanage. So their plan is we're going to rob the bank. This group of disparate people who seem like a bunch of badasses. We get some badassery sequences, except for oh my God, I have so much to talk about with this movie, Chris. Anyway, okay, you know what? No, I'm gonna jump. I'm
waiting for you. I want to know who it is that is such an affront. Is it Big John Studd?
No, yeah, he's not good.
I mean, he's a wrestler, you know. Is he any worse? Better? Is he? He's more endearing than Hulk Hogan has ever been in anything I've ever seen Hulk Hogan in. No, I'm not buy that him and Vanessa Williams are a thing, but that's a different story.
Oh yeah, we didn't really mention poor Vanessa Williams, who is just the torch singer here, who's got like two scenes where she's just kind of bitchy and whatever. Like, you know, her and Harley, Mickey Rourke, had a fling at some point, but she's with Big John Studd. Like, it's the big joke at the beginning of the movie is when Harley shows up, everyone's like, don't let Jack see you. He's going to kill you. Every single one of them tells him that he's going to kill him. So like, that's their relationship. And, you know, Big John Studd's performance isn't bad. It's just that he's not a performer.
Not like that.
And I don't know that role needed any greater performance than it got. He's just sort of there to be a big dude who sometimes comes through. Okay, so the rec center thing, right? Okay, so we got that going on. So their immediate plan is, let's rob the bank. Okay, these guys who have no plan are just going to rob an armored car. The plan consists of Marlboro getting on top of that car for some armored car for no reason. He's just hanging on
because it looks cool.
He's basically ballast up there, and they've blocked off a deserted street and Mickey Rourke is in a sewer grate, a manhole cover, with a shotgun. Why did they stop for him? If the street wasn't blocked off at all, they could have easily gotten around him. And then they get out of the car to talk to him, and he's like, these sound like criticisms, might I point out, but these are not. These are all positives in my mind. The guards are very funny. This is the best part of the script, probably. The one guard who's like just sort of wising off to them the entire time, like well, you guys are dummies. You're really bad at this. Like, if you were smart, you would have used my keys and not blown up the back of the truck to get at the money. I like that guy, but anyway.
I will tell you a funny story about Steve Tannen. Thank you for bringing up Steve Tannen. Steve Tannen is a standout actor for me, because when I think of Steve Tannen, who is the actor I believe you're talking about, he is the guard in Fletch Lives that Fletch comes across when he goes into the house, and he pretends to be an exterminator named Billie Jean King Bugbuster, and he forces the guy to smack his head on the side and get the termite out of his ear that Fletch put in there. And I always think about him. I've never seen him in anything else other than this movie now. And he's playing like such a weirdo character in this.
Good character.
Yeah, he's really funny. Like that back and forth that he has is really funny.
Yeah. Unfortunately, see, for some reason, okay, this is a robbery, right? They're robbing a bank where they know that these guys are badasses. In a moment, the badasses show up for the first time. The row of Daniel Baldwin and his, it's funny. I listened to an interview with Mickey Rourke conducted by Alec Baldwin, where Mickey Rourke was describing how horrible this movie is without naming the movie. And at a certain point, he mentions Don Johnson, and Alec Baldwin said, "Oh, I think I know the movie you're talking about. My brother's in that movie." And yes, he certainly does show up here. Is he completely and totally and utterly miscast here, Daniel Baldwin?
Oh, I want to know what is the appeal of Daniel Baldwin?
If you've watched the television series Homicide: Life on the Street, you'll understand the appeal of Daniel Baldwin.
Okay, so I haven't seen the Daniel Baldwin thing. Yeah, because if you watch this, it is not this. He is, to call him wooden would be like he's like a 2x4. It's just, I don't
insult to trees.
He's really unappealing in this movie.
I think he's trying to play the same role that Gary Busey played in Lethal Weapon. The strong, silent, professional, but ultimately psychotic guy. Like, that's what I think he was trying to do.
That outfit is not helping me take you seriously at all.
No, he's either in a matching identical suit to the other four guys who are his, clones, I guess. No, they're not actually clones if you haven't seen the movie. I know it takes place in the future, but we're not that futuristic. He's either wearing that sort of poor suit or a giant puffy overcoat that is bulletproof. And he wears that a lot.
And this guy is the head of security for a bank?
Bank/multinational conglomerate / drug house.
It's
creators of Crystal Dream. Okay, let's talk about Crystal Dream for a second.
Crystal Dream, man. What a terrible name for a fake drug. For real.
Right. Oh, yeah, it's terrible. So they pull that heist off. They get away with the money, but lo and behold, the money isn't money at all. It's Crystal Dream. And so now we know that the bank is dealing drugs. They seem to have a lot of money, the bank. I don't know why they're drug dealing. But anyway.
You make more money selling drugs.
Oh, right. And it continues. Oh, capitalism.
Right.
They go to lengths to describe what Crystal Dream does, right? It's like it goes in your eye, right? It's like, okay. And then it gives you visions.
Yeah. Retinal hallucinations.
Right. Okay. That sounds interesting. That's probably going to figure into this plot somehow. Evidently it can addict you immediately. And if you take it more than once, you will most definitely die. Well,
destroys your central nervous system, does it not?
Yeah. Something's going to happen with this. No. The only thing that happens with this is they sell the drugs back to the bank.
Wow.
And then we don't hear about this drug ever again.
Yeah.
I wanted to see either Harley Davidson or the Marlboro Man take a crystal dream trip, then we could have gotten really weird.
I mean, all you have to do is watch a movie that comes out 5 years later, and Mickey Rourke does plenty of heroin and Bullet to offset the amount of drugs he doesn't do in this movie.
But I would have preferred this film's visualization of a drug trip as opposed to Bullet's visualization, which was terrible.
I will agree with you there. Simon Wincer is an interesting director. I don't know if he brings much to this in terms of it doesn't. I mean, again, like it's not a bad movie the way it looks. It's just early 90s action movie with very boring action. Like,
yeah, the action isn't all that spectacular.
The set pieces are terrible. Like they work against the movie when they take a pause to fight the villains at the end of the film, and it's like a literal pause so that they can talk to each other, and the villains are just standing there waiting around. It's like, what are we supposed to feel about this movie? That it just thinks that the audience is dumb? Like the promise of what this movie is sounded more fun than the movie ends up actually being.
Well, I disagree. It's just fun in a different way.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, it fails at being fun in a good way. It's fun in a, like, holy shit movie. Like, what are these choices you're making? Yeah,
this is kind of a good bad movie as opposed to a good, potentially getting anywhere more than good movie. Pardon me.
Well, and that's the other question that I have ultimately with something like this. Like, what could have made this better other than raising the script all the way down to just the two characters?
Kind of that.
Because that's the sad part is Don Johnson and Mickey Rourke are so good together.
This should have been a movie about those two guys and their friendship. And it kind of is in a way, because like I said, I like the stuff with them. I like when Don Johnson goes off and messes with a motorcycle cop, and it turns out to be this girl he has been messing around with, Virginia Slim. Can I say it again?
Jack Daniels, Jose Cuervo. This is one of the few movies I've ever seen that has a opening title card that says none of the characters in this movie are meant to be promotional for the products that they're named after. Wow.
It should just say, we don't know why we called it this either. So anyway, I like the stuff with Marlboro and his gal, and like, you know, getting a little bit of history between them. And then there's a scene between Harley and her. Like, all that stuff is good. And it should have been a heist movie, you know, but it should have been a better heist, and it shouldn't have been these villains. Ultimately, the problem is the villains in the movie, because the rest just writes itself as far as what it wanted to be. Like, it's just these guys going to go do a heist to save something. By the way, I like the idea of robbing a bank that's trying to take a property away from somebody and then using their money. That's fun. But they were stealing like, $2.7 million from the bank. That's what they thought they were getting.
Yeah.
Is that how much a mortgage payment is in the far-flung future of 1996? Or were they just buying the bar outright?
I have no idea.
They just show up at the bank and go, "Hey, that thing we've been leasing, we'd like to pay for it with $2.75 million. Oh, that's interesting. We just lost $2.75 million."
Well, and oh my God, and we haven't really mentioned him, but speaking of the bank in this movie and the main villain, hey, Tom Sizemore.
Wasted
night. I have mixed feelings about Tom Sizemore, primarily because in the only adaptation of the book series that really got me into reading Douglas Preston and Lincoln Child's books, he plays one of the leads that's two leads meshed together and from the books, and he is so miscast in that movie. And that's the only thing I ever think of him in is that movie. Because it's, again, like they're like, what's an Italian actor adjacent that we could cast to play this rough, cop, New York style cop? And it's like, Tom Sizemore does not come to mind when I think of that. Like, I know J.D. Salinger is the guy who says, well, don't adapt my shit. Sometimes he's right. There are things that's like, you just made the wrong choice, and it's like casting Tom Cruise as Jack Reacher. That's what I'm saying.
He's miscast here, just like Daniel Baldwin. The problem is script on up with the villains, because none of them are charming in any way. They're just stone-faced, like monotone, whatever, like
matter-of-fact dickheads.
Yeah, like one performs too much and the other one not at all.
Well, what are you going to have Tom Sizemore do? He's not a remote physical threat to either of these people, or is he? Because again, that's the thing. Like, are Mickey Rourke and Don Johnson physical threats? Like, I guess Mickey Rourke kind of is, but
Mickey Rourke picks up Big John Studd during their fight.
Right.
It's really impressive.
But then they don't do anything else with it, is my point. Like, there's like a lack of physicality beyond the one thing that he does.
Oh no, he does some like kung fu there at the end.
Yeah, but he's not doing kung fu in the Big John Studd scene. It's like he's like wrestling. He's like barroom wrestling, which is what he should be doing, because he's like this is supposed to be like an outlaw Easy Rider thing, right? Like, that's what this is supposed to be, like a motorcycle movie, but it's almost not a motorcycle movie on top of everything else.
But here's something I really did like about the script, and I like that. But Harley in the film is a dummy.
Yeah. Oh, he's the most ineffectual fucking like lead in a
really
movie.
Bad.
Yeah.
He's bad at everything, and he
literally,
and the characters point it out. So I found that to be very, very funny.
Yeah, that's a compelling character trait. And that it factors into the finale is like actually one of the better parts of the movie. They kind of fumble it, but I mean, they do a better job than I thought they would have, given how many other things they kind of don't do.
Yes, having him be a terrible shot, and the finale of the movie is Daniel Baldwin with his gun to Don Johnson's head, and Harley decides he's going to shoot anyway and shoots Don Johnson not once, but then he shoots him again. I loved that.
Well, and the thing about Mickey Rourke and the guns in the movie, where he's throwing the guns at people, and he, when he's talking to the Jordan Lund character, I misspoke earlier who the actor is, the actor from Fletch Lives, the guard, he says like, you could still miss from 15 feet or something to that effect. And it's like, I like that they keep reinforcing that throughout the movie, because that is something, that's a interesting character trait that you don't see in a lot of your action heroes. Is this guy is a complete ding dong, like, or he's just completely ineffectual. Like, he's not a ding dong, he's not stupid, but I mean, again, he fights Big John Studd and, like, I guess wins. So again, like, how the intellect of this character is never really something that we're really worrying about. Let's just put it that way.
If by win you mean being thrown out a window.
Right, but he does pick Big John Studd up, which Big John Studd is rightly surprised by.
Was he 6'10", that man?
Yeah, he's gigantic, big. Yeah, he's referred to as Big John Studd.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, he fucking wrestled Hulk Hogan. Like, 6'10" is a big fucking dude. Well, speaking of that, there is this Robin Hood-esque thing in this movie that they are like kind of going for. Again, like, I don't get it. They're like, oh, we have a noble cause. We're noble thieves. But they end up getting their friends killed in the process. Every single one of their fucking friends gets killed because they're so stupid.
Yeah, it does happen, doesn't it?
It's literally because they're like, we made a bet and we bet you wouldn't pay us a coin. Because if it had not been a coin, they wouldn't have been able to probably bug the briefcase. I guess maybe. Yeah,
that was a little silly. How about, instead of we'll sell you your drugs back for $2.75 million, how about we'll give you the drugs back for the deed to to the property? Right.
That's what I mean when it's like, these guys are morons. Like,
and a $1 bill. What is this coin? Take that back.
Right. Well, I don't know if you can hide something in it. It is the future.
It is. Yeah, they hadn't thought that far ahead. I do think I said before, this movie is prescient. It predicted the Matrix. And it also predicted the rise of Gustavo Fring, Giancarlo Esposito, with a blue drug, the newest blue drug out on the streets that's addicting everyone and killing them.
God. So Giancarlo Esposito is someone that I've been seeing recently in things as recently as last September. Was it last September when we saw him, or was it in Taps? What was he in? In one of those Academy-style movies, right? It
was Taps, yeah. It was, very young in that movie.
He's great.
I love him, man. This is 2 years after, by the way, his turn in Do the Right Thing is bugging out. And his character is Jimi Hendrix. He's actually dressed exactly like Jimi Hendrix in the movie. I felt for him because he went from one of the greatest roles in cinema to this, basically an exposition machine.
Pretty much. Yeah, I actually watched him in Bob Roberts earlier this year, and he was good.
Oh my God. So good in that movie, man.
Yeah, Bugs Raplin. Yeah, he's...
By the way, first time I saw Jack Black was in that movie, and I thought he was horrifying. I thought he was the most frightening thing I'd ever seen.
Boy, you just that movie is that when we did an episode on that movie, that was a hard movie to enjoy. Let's just put it that way.
Oh, and you know what? So I saw that when it came out, and it was just like, oh, this is so absurd. But like, boy, this sort of thing could happen. Someone could subtly work their way in a subtle manner into the presidency, and I was just like, oh, Jesus Christ! Well, you know,
when this happens,
I guess
it won't be that subtle.
That in the lab. What?
I said, when it actually happens for real, it apparently won't be that subtle.
No, that's my point. Like, so it becomes a curio at this point.
Yeah, well, that's the thing about Bob Roberts that this movie doesn't succeed at is that movie feels prescient where this one could have. Like Demolition Man feels prescient, like with the kind of the jokiness of like the fast food brands and stuff and how prolific. Like it's, I don't know, like for me, that is the biggest missed opportunity in this movie is taking advantage of the future setting. Because it like at times it's like, is this Judge Dredd? At times is this Mad Max? Is there like a shortage of things? Because they talk about like the smog is really bad. And like, but again, then it's just like, oh no, these people have houses, they go to bars, they have food, they hang out. And it's like, so is the future just a little bit more smoggy? So like real life?
Yeah, that's another thing that like when the opening of the movie finds us in somewhere in Texas, I believe, where Mickey Rourke, Harley Davidson is shacked up with some gal, and he's wistful for the girl he left behind and decides he's had enough and he's going to head back to Burbank. By the way, okay, I'm going to keep digressing now because I keep thinking of these things, but things that bothered me in the movie, like when they first arrived to the Rock and Roll Bar in Burbank, which has been turned into an airport, downtown Los Angeles is like looming behind them, which puts them in downtown Los Angeles and nowhere near Burbank. Just one of many like geographical weirdness. Like, and when they go to Las Vegas, the hotel they jump off of is the Dunes, which wasn't around in 1996.
And is also not only 4 stories tall, because all of a sudden the building that they're on looks a lot different than the building they jump off of, which was a real... That felt, yeah, there's some like weird choices in this movie.
That's true, but I like that scene a great deal because of the repartee that I kept mentioning. Like nowhere better on display than those two under fire on top of that roof with nowhere to go. Are you fucking crazy? You know, I'm jumping and punching it.
Well, and that's the thing I like about their dynamic is like it is clear that one of them is constantly out of their depth. I just wish they played it up. I wish it was like such a bigger part of this. And I honestly wish Don Johnson's character was more of a character and less of a guy saying the same thing over and over and over.
Yes.
Again, and before my father left this shitty world, how many times I was honestly disappointed that you didn't say that in the intro of this episode, because he says it so many times.
Yeah, it's not great, and it's it's a character trait that they've given him that he constantly quoting his dad is my old man, blah 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 blah.
His introduction scene is 5 things his father said.
Yep.
Wow.
And do you know what they are? You got to make sure that cue is plenty of chalk. Yes, he when we meet Marlboro, he's at I would say he's hustling a guy in a bar, but he's not really. He's just beating him.
Right.
They're all
a guy being Branscombe Richmond randomly showing up.
Absolutely. Renegade Zone. Branscombe Richmond. I love that guy.
He's just like, he's one of those dude actors, like hard.
Yeah, man. I love him. Apparently, Don Johnson actually knocked him out in that scene with the cue ball. For real. Which means either Don Johnson did not like Branscombe Richmond or Don Johnson is a terrible actor, because you should not be actually knocking your fellow actors unconscious on set.
He's also lucky that Branscombe Richmond didn't kill him, because he's a giant dude.
And he had a butterfly knife. You see that?
Yeah.
Mark of this movie being made in 1991. Butterfly knives. Ooh, look at those. Fancy. Oh, look at it. It's flipping.
Yeah, it's like, oh my fucking God. Are those like, I get, look, if Zodiac has taught me anything, yes, being stabbed is horrifying. but someone flipping a butterfly knife in front of you is a real easy way to just whack it out of their fucking hands immediately. How hard are they holding on to it when they're flipping it around in their hands? Like an old, like, again, a gun that an old Western gunslinger would be flipping is one thing, because you don't want to get close because they'll shoot you, but it's like, this guy's got a knife. Just like fucking knock it out of his hands.
I'm going to have to make a supercut of the flipping butterfly knife and then their intended prey taking the knife away from them montage, because that it's been going on forever. We've watched a couple of movies where they do that. Actually, Streets of Fire has a scene where they do that.
Oh yeah, Pavlov's knife. Is that what it is?
Yeah, it must be. And Dragnet with
yeah,
and Aykroyd takes a butterfly knife off of a kid.
God, it's
or was that nunchucks? Could have been both. I don't know.
I like Branscombe Richmond. I like the energy that he brings. He always seems like, I don't know, he just seems like a nice guy, right? Like,
Yeah, he always seems bemused by whatever's going on around him.
Yep, that's a perfect way of putting it. And Sven Ole Thorsen, too, another big guy actor, is here.
Fuck yeah, Conan the Barbarian's own Sven Ole Thorsen.
LaFours, as they would say. Oh my God. I know why this movie doesn't work. It feels like such a bummer that it doesn't work that well in the way that it could have.
I agree. I wish I could unreservedly recommend this movie, but I cannot. This is one of those movies that I see past all of our criticisms. I see these criticisms as strengths in the ultimate movie that we got, but
right,
there is so much actual, genuine entertainment here that could have been woven very easily with just a couple of passes on a screenplay, and get all of the just the mechanical bullshit of the screenplay, the stuff that's easy. Like, they ended up with two absolutely charismatic leads. That's half their job was done, man. Just do the rest. Just make everything coherent. Don't make them dumb. I mean, you can have one of them be dumb, but don't make them both do boneheaded things the whole time. That's not great.
And the other thing is, when you have a lead duo that is given the kind of raw deal that they're given here, it's such a shame that it is good actors. Like, if it were bad actors, I kind of Pat Morita's not a bad actor, but Jay Leno is not a good actor. And so Collision Course is just like, well, it's kind of a weird thing, but it's not as disappointing as something where I kind of like Don Johnson a lot in a lot of the things that I've seen him in recently. Cold in July. I don't know if you saw Cold in July. He's really good in that. He's also pretty good in Django Unchained as well.
He was good in that. Did you ever see A Boy and His Dog?
I have not.
You should watch that. Harlan Ellison's A Boy and His Dog. Post-apocalyptic world where this this guy out in the wasteland and his pet dog who he has a psychic connection with. It's great.
I'm actually shocked you've never seen Cold in July. I feel like it would be right up your alley. Yeah.
And what you're saying about Don Johnson, watching this movie again made me reappreciate him immensely, as an actor. Like, he's not. Look, both of these guys had a terrible time on this movie. Neither of them enjoyed. They were just doing it for the paycheck. I think they've both been very upfront about that, and I don't think they got along with the director very much. I can't tell that from either of their performances. Neither of them seemed distracted or bored or like they didn't want to be there. Like, they're both given solid stuff. The stuff that we're talking about, the potential of the movie, springs from those two guys, I think. Don Johnson in particular, because he's given them more heavy lifting to do, sort of emotionally, I would think.
Well, and I also think he's given the character that we know less about, so that there is some intrigue left with him. I think, unfortunately, Harley Davidson is such kind of he's written so one note that they Mickey Rourke, even Mickey Rourke can't do much with it other than just kind of, be Mickey Rourke and be charming. That is the thing that this movie does that a lot of the other things I've seen Mickey Rourke in aren't. He's pretty charming in this movie.
A lot of smiles on that man in this movie.
Yeah, and like I said on an episode of Bullet that we did for the projection booth together with Mike White, I dig Mickey Rourke with short hair.
Yeah, he looks great here.
Yeah.
Does he remind you eerily sometimes of Bruce Willis in this movie?
Kind of. I can see it.
Superficially, I mean, just surface like looks. Like I don't think he's given anything like a performance like Bruce Willis would have. I've read that at one time this was to be a project for Don Johnson and Bruce Willis. Now I don't know if that's just bullshit like publicist talk from the time. Like they, like anytime. I love when you go to an IMDb page or something and in the trivia it'll say like the list of people who were going to be in the movie, but it's like just because somebody put them on a list when they were making the movie doesn't mean they were in any way going to be associated with the movie. So I don't know if it's that or the fact that like I believe Don Johnson gave Bruce Willis a break on Miami Vice in the early 80s, and so they might have had a friendship or something. So this could have been a Don Johnson, Bruce Willis movie. And if that had been the case, then I think that script would have been rewritten vigorously, as opposed to taking on a lead in Mickey Rourke, who just was like, oh, $4 million? Yes, I'd like to buy a house.
And so that's the thing that we haven't talked about with Mickey Rourke yet that you bring up here. This is the stage of his career where he's doing the Nick Cage thing that Nick Cage was doing in the late 90s, where it's just like, I'm just going to start doing things. Like, and the quality be damned, because I mean, with something like Bullet, which I mean, Bullet is literally outside of Double Team, like after Bullet, he's in Exit in Red, which is a direct to DVD, then and it starts being like just more obscure direct to DVD things that like if this is the like what's surprising is that Bullet isn't the low point, given that he thinks that this is the low point.
Well, I think he clarifies that this was the low point for him, where he woke up every morning hating going to work, like, and his not only just that, but he said that he had made a bunch of movies sort of early on when he could pick movies he made for himself. Like, that's interesting to me. I want to do that.
Right.
And was told those were bad movies. Right. So then he started picking movies that he thought, well, this is more what they want me to be doing. And then those movies were excoriated as well. And so after a decade of that, he said, and then they offer me $4 million. And like, they don't like what I like. They don't like what they like. Fuck it. I'll just take a payday here. And so this kind of, I guess, is the tipping point for him. Like, he starts boxing almost immediately after this movie, right?
Yeah, pretty sure.
And that's pretty solid for the next 5 years.
Well, I mean, again, just look at what he looks like in Bullet versus this movie. It is a different person. He looks like even without the prosthetics, like he looks like a different person. His acting has taken a considerably darker twinge to it, like in a self-referentially dark way. Like it's
right.
And it's a shame because this movie's not great, but this movie's not that bad. But I guess in the 90s it was
enjoyable, man.
But the problem is, like, in the 90s, it kind of is that bad because they're the 90s, the late 80s, early 90s, and kind of the 80s altogether, really, was such a fertile ground for buddy action movies that, like, this comes out at the tail, like you mentioned, this comes out at the tail end. The leads are good, but then, you can't do much else with it. Like, that's the, like, it is, unfortunately, as bad, but it's not really that bad. But in comparison to everything else coming out at the time, it is pretty bad.
Oh, yeah. Look, I saw this in the theater. This is actually the last movie I saw in Massachusetts before I moved to California. Since Mickey Rourke has been around, I've been a fan of the guy. So it was really a disappointment for me because I saw what he was seeing in the movie, which is this is a real fucking step down for me. And I'm just cashing a paycheck here. And so I felt very disappointed in him in initially watching. And then, a few years later, I watched it again. And the things I like about it kind of came up. The charms of this movies are not in those other movies, but they are superior. I mean, the early buddy cop movies. Like, this is no Lethal Weapon or 48 Hours even,
No, but I think it could have been because the leads are good. That's again, like that is the saddest thing about this movie is that it isn't really untalented actors. It's just a very lackluster script. And again, like the name. I mean, the name is intriguing. The name gets your attention. Ultimately, the name, it doesn't make good on the name of what the movie is kind of offering. And again, when you look at Don Michael Paul's other things, there are a lot of like direct to video stuff and like lesser things. I mean, he gets one kind of bigger project with Half Past Dead, but beyond that, it's a bunch of like, again, Sniper Legacy, Kindergarten Cop 2, like sequels to things, not IP originators, like direct-to-video things. And again, there's nothing wrong with it, but that there is kind of a level of quality that's expected when a movie's coming out in the theater versus a movie coming out direct to video, at least at the time that those kinds of movies are coming out direct to video. And this movie doesn't feel like a direct to video movie either. That's the problem. Like it doesn't have the telltale signs of a direct to video movie.
Other than Daniel Baldwin and Tom Sizemore
right.
at that time. Let me praise the screenplay just a little bit because there's an exchange between Marlboro and Harley that resonated in my head in some way, that every time I'm watching an action movie where there's lots of gunplay, I think about this, which is their fire. I think it's during the finale, during the endless gunfight in the airplane graveyard. And Marlboro says, Harley, because Harley is a terrible shot and is hitting nothing but squeezing off shots like they're free, and says, that's $2 every time you pull the trigger. $2 right there. It's a great exchange and pays off sort of with the how much they just spent in killing those guys. And when I see in movies people are just firing round after round after round, I think like that character had to go buy that. That's that much money they just spent. It's a weird thing to consider, but this movie stuck it into my head. So I want to thank the screenwriter for doing that, because it is definitely something most people don't think about.
It's a same head, a different head of the same coin of the thing that I always think about, which is the amount of bullets in a gun only matters when all of a sudden a character only has 1 or 2 left. Otherwise, these Glocks that have normal clips in them sure don't normally have 30 bullets in them, Johnny Handsome, but boy, apparently that gun has 30 goddamn bullets in it. Like it's that same thing where it's like, yeah, not only did they have to go buy it, but they have to reload too, right? Like at some point they have to put more bullets in because they're not magically getting that 10 clip gun doesn't have 30 bullets in it. Like it's that same thing of just like, what the fuck, guys?
How fearsome are those Daniel Baldwin clones with their souped up machine guns? You made me think of them because, speaking of endless ammo, they never run out of ammo, those guys. Right. I suppose the inner linings of those giant fluffy coats are filled with magazines for their machine guns. But we're supposed to believe that they're like an absolute elite kill squad. But they can't hit the fucking barn side of a broad. Like they're empty. They're throwing buckets of bullets at them and they're hitting nothing at all. What's funny is when they first show up and they've got our heroes pinned down, the 2 guards are tied up and sitting in the middle of the road, and these guys are just firing indiscriminately 4 machine guns at once. None of those guards got hit. Like they couldn't even hit those guys.
And I wondered if that was like meant to be a joke. But it wasn't a joke at all. I was wondering that because like those guards are going to get killed, right? Nope. These guys, if you're making stormtroopers look effective and accurate, you are the most ineffectual villains in a movie I have ever seen. Like and then you give them goofy Nehru, Steven Seagal style high collared jackets, and they just look they look fucking ridiculous. Like, oh, yeah, no wonder Don Johnson saw them in the casino, because they stick out like a sore fucking thumb.
That was my favorite, man. I was like, I live in Las Vegas. I was like, do you know how fast casino security, they wouldn't have gotten through the door, those 3 guys.
Yeah, they look like fucking criminals. And because they're just dudes who shoot guns in public because they don't really kill anybody. The only people that they kill are people that are standing still on the other side of a mirror, which like, and I like, what I don't get is there's a scene after the scene where all of their friends get murdered where Mickey Rourke is just like, yeah, like our friend Jimmy. And it's like, that guy's dead. What is like, why are they trying to make Mickey Rourke like a dickhead character all of a sudden? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, there's a switch there, but hey, we all handle grief in our own ways. Harley is a deep human being. He's lost a lot. He lost his girl. He lost his bike. I think he lost all of his friends. He lost Big John Studd. Did they kill Vanessa Williams?
I guess. No, did she leave?
I don't remember. They killed Big John Studd, though.
Yeah, they killed everybody. They killed the old man. They killed Jack Daniels and Jose Cuervo and Tito Santana and whoever the fuck of the Big Bopper. They killed all of them. Whoever the fuck the names were, I forget. The Jimi
Jose
Hendrix.
Cuervo.
But who's the other guy?
Big John Studd, Jack Daniels.
That's all of them then. Yeah, they all died because he said
the old man.
Yeah,
the old
and he's
man
like they killed all 4 of our friends. Like,
yeah.
So I guess they didn't kill Vanessa Williams then, because that would be 4 people.
Right. They just left her to mourn.
Yes.
Jesus. Okay, so they need revenge, right? They've been hunted the whole movie by this hit squad. They need to kill those guys, and they do, right? Poorly. It's not great, other than that line of dialogue, and then the final confrontation, which I like a lot, right?
Are you talking about the one with Daniel Baldwin or with Tom Sizemore?
No, Daniel Baldwin. I'm saying that.
Yeah. I think that's actually, like, in terms of like action adjacent things that are successful, that's one of the few things, is that standoff between the 3 of them.
Yeah, that's great. And now we have to go deal with Tom Sizemore, right? Because he's the puppet master. He's been pulling all the strings. They got to go take him out.
Yeah, and boy, it's a Mickey Rourke movie, isn't it? Because it falls apart in the 3rd act to the point where you're like, this movie has completely lost its goddamn mind.
Yeah. It is the Matrix ending where they've now convinced the bank's helicopter pilot to aid them. Is that what happened? I believe that's what happened.
They paid him off. They're like, yeah, here, we're paying you now.
Right. And he shows up and just indiscriminately, like the other guys, just start blasting away, killing Tom Sizemore. Why didn't they give Tom Sizemore the drug? No,
it didn't kill Tom Sizemore. Tom Sizemore falls out the window after the helicopter leaves.
Yeah, that's right.
Because the helicopter kills all the other people not named Tia Carrera, Don Johnson, Mickey Rourke, and Tom Sizemore.
Right. He takes out the rest of the goons. Okay.
And then there is a even more pedantic, meandering climax to the movie involving, of course, the Pavlov's boots of Don Johnson.
Yeah, that's the obvious Die Hard ripoff. Like that, they introduce the watch. The watch saves the day. Introduce the boots. Mention the boots even a couple of times.
And he's fixing his boots with duct tape at one point. He's like, "What's the deal with those boots?"
Yeah, what's the deal with those boots? Let me ask you, on top of a billboard where we hang out sometimes to talk. We just pull our bikes up and we climb up the ladder, and then we go scramble out onto this little painter's perch, and then we hang out and we talk because it looks cool. Sounds like they could have had that conversation back at the bar.
And they do it twice in the movie. Once towards the beginning and once towards the end.
And those guys are consistent. They're Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man. They're professionals.
Which name is cooler, Harley Davidson or the Marlboro?
Harley Davidson is the better name.
I don't know. I like there's a twinge of mystery to the Marlboro Man.
There is, and you get to call him Marlboro.
Yeah, Marlboro. Harley, so here's the funny thing, another Fletch Lives connection. The only other time I can think of a character using the name Harley Davidson in a movie to call themselves that is when Fletch goes to the bar, the Nazi bar, and he's like, my name is Ed Harley of Harley Davidson. And he pretends to be like the son of one of Harley or Davidson. I guess it would be Harley, yeah. But like, that's the other weird thing, because that's, again, that's that other weird connection to this movie that it has with the Jordan Lund playing essentially the same character, that like smart ass.
I read some reviews of this movie in other countries, Australia and England, and both reviewers wondered about the names of in the movie because they were effectively meaningless there.
Right.
Like one of them said, Marlboro to us is the truck that Superman throws one of the villains into in Superman 2. It's like that their only reference for Marlboro cigarettes was in another movie from America from a decade beforehand. So calling a character the Marlboro Man to them was just like, okay.
Yeah, it would not have a lot of international appeal, that's for sure.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, that's the least of this movie's problems. I mean, let's not mention the fact that this movie has a Basil Polidoris soundtrack, a score, and it's pretty unremarkable. Unremarkable
because it's buried under all the worst instincts for movie music for this kind of film. It's like a Cinemax level, and it's so obvious. For God's sake, do not. I had a hard time even in 1991 when Bon Jovi's he's a cowboy.
I kind of loved it. I loved that. It was so fucking on the nose. It's all the same. He's getting on the motorcycle. Only the names. Oh, he's riding on the sunset. Only the names have changed. It's like, oh God, this is so on the fucking nose. Like, good.
Oh yeah.
If they had just named the movie Wanted Dead or Alive, I would have been like, holy shit, they went there. Like, he's riding his steel horse. Don't you get it? That's a motorcycle.
I wonder if there'd been any hubbub. There was a lot of talk and derision of this movie just for the title.
Right. And, which is unfucking fair, by the way. Again, I'd like to point out.
Yeah. Now, had they called the movie, say, Wanted Dead or Alive, and just in the movie, the characters happen to be named Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man, would that have just been like a quirk after the fact? Like, hey, and by the way, for some weird reason, they're all named these things, as opposed to like people zeroing in and going, what the fuck is wrong with this movie?
I don't know. I think if they hadn't used the song Let's Work Together on the soundtrack, maybe they would have had a chance at having a successful movie. Because boy, whenever someone uses that song in a movie, I praise the good needle drops. Oh my God.
Yeah. This one is filled with great tune.
Yeah.
Got some Waylon Jennings in there, don't we?
Yeah. Hardline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was some pretty good songs. So.
It's
I'm being a little hard on.
I mean, again, like for what it is fun, but it feels like such a missed opportunity because everything that could be considered an action scene just is clunky, to say the least. It's clunky, but to be even like kind of more forceful, they're really bad to the point where you should just fast forward through them. Because like when the characters aren't able to talk to each other and go back and forth and say pithy things, the movie doesn't really work. And those action scenes, when they're split up, it's not particularly interesting. Or when they're hiding again in the luggage compartment of an airplane, I still can't believe that that's a scene in a Hollywood film. That takes like 5 minutes too. It's not just like 2 seconds either.
Yeah. Why did we need it at all? Just they disappear into the airport and now we're in Las Vegas. We would have figured it out. We didn't need it.
Yeah. Like anything, again, like I said, anything with airplanes in this movie is just a failure. And an airplane graveyard is such an interesting place to set the finale, at least the action finale of your movie. And Don Johnson just hiding in an airplane the whole time. It's just Don Johnson sitting in an airplane with a gun and just, okay.
And Mickey Rourke, he's being, I guess that's just Harley being Harley. He's just sitting on top of like the wing of a plane, like
right
out in the open.
Well, it's like Naked Gun level. They're like shooting at each other from the other side of a trash can is what it feels like. They're that close. Like it's just.
They didn't really utilize their location, did they?
No, not in any of the times they went anywhere remotely interesting. Yeah, I get why you wanted to watch it, and I had fun with it. But
yeah, like I said, I can't recommend this movie to anybody, but I'll recommend it to everybody. I love this movie.
There are some people I would totally recommend this to, like people that are big action movie people, like you're really into like 80s and 90s action movies. Like this is a weird curio worth checking out.
Totally.
Yeah.
Mickey Rourke a house,
Right.
I mean, he lost that house, but for a while, he had it. He had the big Elvis house, as he called it.
The big Elvis house. Mickey Rourke's such a weird dude. I love him for how weird he is. Like,
me too, man.
Like you be you, like you do you be you. And you know what the saddest thing about Mickey Rourke is that anybody ever told him that him being him wasn't enough. Because that seems to be what the problem with Mickey Rourke is. Like people just said what he was doing wasn't enough when it's like, it's actually them who's the problem, bro, not you. Like I haven't really had a complaint about Mickey Rourke in any of these movies for the most part. Like even Bullet, he's not bad. They just saddled him with some real contrite horse shit to say. Like they just saddle him with some stupid shit in this movie, but he's really charming. Like he really is.
Oh yeah. Like you're not going to get a more lighthearted Mickey Rourke than you're going to get here in Harley Davidson, the Marlboro Man. And this is it. Like everything, it's the different Mickey Rourke after this movie. It's the one that I keep hearing from younger viewers of Mickey Rourke. I had no idea how good looking and, like I mean, everyone knows what a good actor he is. I don't think that's ever been in question. But like this young, vital, like fucking gorgeous young man, people are unaware because they haven't watched any of these movies, and that's a drag. And when you look back and go like, well, this is one of his bad movies. It's like, is it compared to some of the shit he ended up doing just for the paychecks over and over? Like in the past 20 years. Like not to say he hasn't done really good work. And I'm not still a huge fan, but like, you can do a lot worse in the Mickey Rourke canon than Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man.
Well, I kind of mentioned it a little bit, and like I want to mention it here because this is probably the closest we'll ever get. Clearly, I think Mickey Rourke is essentially Steven Seagal adjacent in a lot of ways with all the direct-to-DVD stuff. It's like him, Armand Asante, Jeff Fahey, like a lot of those actors, and like Mickey Rourke is one of them. Like because of the work he did early in his career, he still has like I still think he's a good actor, but he still has that like. You could just be in some bullshit because you're Mickey Rourke and they'll hire you and put you on the poster front and center because you're Mickey Rourke. Now, I haven't seen any of those Mickey Rourke direct-to-DVD movies like the Seagal ones. Maybe he's actually in them as opposed to Seagal, who's sitting behind a table most of the time, not doing anything. But I wonder if Mickey Rourke's actually in those movies because I know Armand Asante is in the movies he's in that aren't great. But that's the weird thing. Like you mentioned, like Mickey Rourke has weird kind of striations in his career. Like, oh, this is the mainstream Mickey Rourke. And now we're in the like guy who's hates himself, Mickey Rourke. Like,
yeah, it's you know, he bought the big Elvis house, but like it's kind of like watching Elvis's career, you know, like there was Rockabilly Elvis, there was off to the draft Elvis, and then there was, you know, comeback Elvis, and then Vegas, you know, and you got that with Mickey Rourke as well. And it's in no way less interesting than that story, you know. And ultimately, I think he left behind some really fucking great movies. And yeah, he's not dead or anything, you know. He's probably got a few more left in him.
Dude, he has so many movies in post-production, including a film with Roman Polanski.
Whoa.
And if you could believe this, a movie directed by Daniel Baldwin, of all people.
Oh my God. Now that I'm definitely have to see. That's so enticing.
I don't know. It's called A Walking Miracle, though. So.
Oh, well, that's a little disappointing, but I still want to watch it.
Yeah. I don't know. I do think, you know, Mickey Rourke does have that weird, like, he's a direct-to-DVD guy, too. Like, but he was also the guy who, like, just like Seagal early in his career, he was the fucking man for a while. Like, you know. So
stop comparing him to Steven Seagal.
I'm not comparing him in quality, because the quality is like, again, like I said, I haven't seen those direct-to-DVD movies. Right. So I can't comment on what he's doing in them. I'm just commenting on the fact that he's cast in them because he's Mickey Rourke. Like,
right, but I think it is more like Nicolas Cage in that, and Nicolas Cage said this, and I believe him, and it is true if you just watch anything he's in. He never phoned it in.
Like, I agree with that 100%.
He knew he was doing subpar entertainment, but that did not stop him from giving his all. And Mickey Rourke, in everything I've ever seen him in, is always giving his all. It might be weird to whoever, or like, you know, it might be the wrong choice, but that doesn't mean that his commitment isn't on display.
And look, the movies that are direct to DVD, in a lot of ways, they're probably more interesting roles anyways. Like that's the reality of a lot of this. Like, you know, again, I'm mentioning Seagal, he's taking boring roles. Mickey Rourke's probably taking roles that are more interesting because, yeah, you know, Iron Man 2, he's fine, but that's kind of a waste of his time. I don't know if the direct to DVD movies that he's choosing to be in are a waste of his time. Probably not. It's strange. There are some actors that have these careers that kind of just exist and continue in like they're a little bit more kind of off in the distance. And you hear about them being in, like, you know, Mickey Rourke was in The Wrestler within the last 15 years, nominated for an Oscar.
Yeah, I'm going to watch that again, actually, because we've been watching so many Mickey Rourke movies, and now I need to get back into that latter portion of his life, because I tend to live, when I think of Mickey Rourke, in this period of films we're watching, the 1980s and into the sort of early 90s.
Yeah, I haven't seen The Wrestler since it came out, but it's weird that Mickey Rourke did that with Aronofsky, and then, you know, now we have Fraser getting his, you know, kind of getting that thing that Mickey Rourke didn't get, which, I mean, I think I remember at the time being kind of miffed because I remember liking The Wrestler. I mean, as someone who enjoys wrestling, obviously, but also, I mean, it's a little on the nose, but it's okay that movie's on the nose because that's kind of the point. It's meta.
Oh, yeah.
It's very meta in a lot of ways. Like,
I think now that the case can be made for The Wrestler and Bullet, and there's got to be one other earlier movie where he's very, you know what, like perhaps Johnny Handsome or Angel Heart, where he's saying, I don't like this. Right. I'm not having fun, everybody. I would like to change part of my life. And those three movies could be a pretty good exemplar of his career and life in regard to that career.
Yeah, I would agree. It's I mean, look, it's better to have an interesting career than to be the guy who just is in a bunch of Scorsese movies that are everybody loves, but everybody kind of is just like, it's another Leonardo DiCaprio Scorsese movie. It's more interesting to be interesting. I feel like, it's better to be dead and cool than alive and uncool.
That's true. If this movie has taught us anything.
I mean, look, let's do Harley Davidson and Marlboro Man too. They're both still alive. It would be better. It would be better now.
Oh my God! Yeah, you're absolutely right. Like, and they both hated Harley Davidson and Marlboro. What better thing to do right now?
Like, fuck it. Like, yeah, I'm serious. Like, I was thinking about that when I was watching it. I was like, man, wouldn't that be cool if they just came back and did something together, and maybe it wasn't a sequel to this, but it was just like, oh, we did that thing 20 plus years ago or 30 years ago, and we didn't like it. But let's do something else now.
I want a direct sequel. I want to one day play new preview, and it says the last ride of Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man. I would lose my shit.
That's a good title for it too. Or Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man ride again.
Whatever the title is, if they
how many motorcycle titles can we get through is the question. The horse shit ones.
Oh yeah, it would on and on.
Pedal to the metal, Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man.
Oh yeah.
God, I would watch any of those movies though. Like you just said, like that. I've always been of the mind that the movies that should be remade or reassessed are the movies that didn't work, not the ones that were so successful that everybody knows them. Because what's the fucking point of remaking a movie that's already good, you ding dongs?
Well, sometimes you just call it a sequel, like Terminator 2, which is just really a remake of Terminator.
Yeah, it's Evil Dead 2. I mean,
yeah, right. That movie was good, right? Well, we'll just do it again.
Yeah,
we'll get that part out of the way in 20 minutes.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I'd much rather watch Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man, clean up their act. That's the movie I would watch.
Oh my God, I would watch them do anything at this point.
Yeah. What if it was Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man for president? That's the name of the movie. I really want to see them in a nursing home. Oh, like a Bubba Hotep style thing.
Kind of a thing, yeah.
But they leave the nursing home and go on one adventure together.
Or maybe they're just roommates.
Like Odd Couples.
Yeah. I can't imagine them in a nursing home. They're a little too independent. They're too independent, but not too independent from each other. This is where they've ended up at the end of their lives. None of their relationships have worked out. They realize that their true love has always been each other. And
it's a gay thing.
Well, no, not necessarily.
But a broy thing.
Yeah, sure, like a bro thing. Or it could be a gay thing. Who cares?
I mean, wouldn't that be fun? It would
actually be fucking awesome. But try getting that one made.
We actually love each other.
This is a great idea.
For 2023, it could totally work. In 1991, you'd get laughed out of any pitch room. But now, two former tough guy actors portraying two leads in a failed action movie that are now being recontextualized as weird, dudes who can't deal with not being together.
And now the names actually make sense. It's like an actual critique. It's like, oh yes, by the way, all of your rugged, stereotypical American icons, well, here they are. This is where we're all going to end up.
We're not part of the WGA, so we could write this right now. We're not going to get in trouble if we write Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man,
well, and
Evel Knievel too.
Yeah, we still run up against the copyright dispute in that we do not own Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man.
But to be fair, is anybody banging down the doors of anybody trying to do anything with this?
No, but I hope what's his name is listening.
Mickey Rourke?
No, the screenwriter.
Don Michael Paul?
Yeah, that dude. He's probably the rights holder.
You know that Mickey Rourke has a stage name, a pseudonym name that he uses when he writes things?
What is that name?
Sir Eddie Cook. He's such a strange dude.
Oh my God, he's so awesome.
I know. I feel like he would be so fun to just be like, hey man, how's it going? I kind of dig your weirdo vibes to be like, thanks, man. I just be like, thanks. That's, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like that would be an on-brand response for Mickey Rourke. It's like, thanks. Okay, moving on.
And he loves the animals. He loves the tiny animals. And
I'm a fan of that.
Me too, man. Like, and he's a dog guy. Clearly, he loves the toy dogs. And there's something endearing about this giant man, like so tender with this fucking animal, man. I know. I understand that he like begged off on the set of The Wrestler because his dog was at home and had a heart condition or something. He was like, fuck, or I don't know. He's very interesting. And I know he's had a troubled past, and I know he's been an asshole on film sets and probably was not during the 1990s was probably not a great human being to be around. But he's never not intriguing. He's never not himself.
So I don't know how much you read about Mickey Rourke and his love of animals, but since it's now finally come up and we can mention it, allegedly he gave his dog 45 minutes of mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. That
was his dog Bojack.
Right. That's like the level of vulnerability to have that kind of story come out as a male actor in Hollywood anytime in your career, to me, is, you know what I mean? Like, have you ever, like, anybody who was ever considered a leading man, the only ever kind of things like that, it's like, oh, Richard Gere had a gerbil up his ass. They're never like, he gave his dog 45 minutes of mouth-to-mouth resuscitation because he loved his dog so much. Like,
it's wonderful.
Yeah, that's the only word I could use. 100%.
He also told a story to Alec Baldwin about his childhood, where he said there were moments in his life where he would find himself hiding in a closet, closing his eyes, and praying to God to make him disappear because of the abuse and general fucked upness of his young life. And Jesus Christ, man, it just makes me love him a little bit more.
He's also like one of the OG, like, fur baby parent actors as well. Is that a weird thing? Because he doesn't have kids either, right?
Right. No, he does not.
He's just like I got pets. My dogs kept me from killing myself is essentially what, like, in a roundabout way he said. Like, that's just, there's a level of vulnerability with Mickey Rourke that I don't understand how someone like that got roped into such a horrible business.
Yeah, it seems like he should have just been a stage actor or something.
Or just like a guy in wherever he grew up, just like a normal dude who just managed to, like, grew up in, in New York, lived a normal life, became like a rather successful normal person, and never dealt with the fucking nightmare that is an acting career.
You know what, though? He was always going to have to deal with these demons from his past. Those were the things he was exercising during his entire career. So if he was like Joe, the guy at the fucking bottling plant, he was still going to be acting out and rage-filled and whatever,
Yeah.
So this sounds fucked up to say, but I'm glad he chose the film industry to go into if he was going to go through it anyway. Because he left behind a really fucking great legacy of his talent and his spirit.
Well, and I mean, the other thing I think about is, if he had never gone into acting, he might have just been a really successful boxer because the guy never lost. So, that's the other thing. Like,
he got into boxing because he got into boxing because he needed to defend himself in his youth, but he got into acting because he had received too many concussions as a 17-year-old and was told he needed to take a year off, and a friend of his coaxed him into taking a play. And then years later also received another couple of concussions and was told the same thing. So, like, I don't know how long his boxing career would have gone on.
Yeah, that's fair. Hey, he might have ended up as a professional wrestler either, because he did end up doing a little, I don't know if you've ever seen it, but the thing he did for one of those WrestleManias where he was like wrestling Chris Jericho with like Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and
the Ram Jam.
Yeah. Yeah. When he hit him with the move from the Wrestler. Yeah. Yeah. It's, I
haven't seen it, but I am going to watch it. I know that he was doing lots of crazy shit to promote that fucking movie, but like, I will watch that.
And it's crazy that it's like, oh, this is WWE helping promote a Darren Aronofsky movie. What in fucking insanity town is that? Like that again, like, but that's the thing about Mickey Rourke is there's only one actor who could have played that role in that movie. Like, and it was Mickey Rourke. Like that. Yeah. 100%. I know
you don't make that movie. if you don't have him.
No. And again, like, we've talked about the Oscars and how kind of a problem they are, but they got it wrong because that would have been an opportunity to really, I feel like, at least mea culpa the shit out of the way the industry treated Mickey Rourke in the 90s, because it was the industry in a lot of ways.
When he lost that award, now I had problems with the Academy and their choices in the past, and you could see when it was political and whatever. But like that was the point where I was like, okay, fuck this award show.
Yeah.
If you're not going to give it to this guy for that role, then don't give out awards. Just to have your little party.
Well, and that's the other thing that, with the Darren Aronofsky connection of Brendan Fraser, it's kind of like they made good. Finally, they gave it to the other time Aronofsky does one of these big character, kind of like depressing character studies. I think is the only way of putting it, because it's, The Wrestler is
too late. I say, Academy. Look, obviously Mickey Rourke doesn't give a shit. He's not doing anything for awards. Who knows what motivates the man? But it's definitely not a little gold statue. But I will be irate for him because he fucking deserved it.
Were you more upset that he didn't win an Oscar or that Michael Keaton didn't win an Oscar?
Ooh.
Right?
Yeah, it's 6 to 1, half dozen to another, honestly. That's just sauce for the goose, basically.
Yeah. That the Michael Keaton one stings just about as much. But I think the Mickey Rourke one, it stings for a different reason. The industry never treated Michael Keaton poorly, at least best I could tell.
That's true.
The fucking conclusion of this movie is such a cop-out with them at the bull riding ring at the end.
At the rodeo?
Yeah, because it's like the purpose of this was never for them to be separated and go their separate ways.
No.
You know what I mean? Like the conclusion of the story is just like, didn't we learn that it's about these two guys being together, working together? It's not about them like living their normal lives, because clearly one dude cannot live without the other, because one dude can't take care of himself at all.
But I think he's learned to.
I don't think so.
They've both come to the end of this journey changed men, better men than they were previous. And now they, as stronger humans, can face this world until the return of Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man.
Oh my God, I would watch that in a heartbeat. I would watch it in a heartbeat, man. Good night.
How about Darren Aronofsky's Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man return?
Oh my good Lord.
Can you imagine?
I couldn't, frankly.
Get him on the phone.
It's like that Darren Aronofsky Batman movie. I still cannot imagine what in the hell that was going to be.
Boy, did I want to see that.
I know.
Very much.
I hear you. I
read that script. I liked that script. I was very excited to see a Darren Aronofsky superhero film.
I would watch Darren Aronofsky's Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man. That would be a fucking trip.
Yes, it would.
With cinematography by Roger Deakins and a score by Ry Cooder.
Well.
But then it's like a depressing character study, and they both have to die in each other's arms at the end, because it's that kind of Darren Aronofsky movie. Yes. Right? But that's the thing. I don't want it to be a depressing movie. I want it to be a fun movie. That's the problem. Like,
give us the blood.
Yeah, give us the movie that this movie promises and does not make good on.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know what? It doesn't have to be a depressing character thing. It could be a romp. Like, right. Aronofsky's not above a romp. Like, let's see these two guys humping around fucking shooting at people and getting shot.
Is Aronofsky not above a romp? What is an Aronofsky romp movie?
Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man Part 2.
Okay, so Darren Aronofsky is not known for his romp. It's Black Swan, a true romp. The Whale, the romp, the funniest movie of the year.
And I was laughing all the way through Pi.
Yeah, right. Remember how funny Requiem for a Dream was?
Oh man, it's so hilarious. You know, I on some level that movie is a very, very funny comedy.
What, Requiem for a Dream?
Yeah.
I mean,
it can be used that way.
I was telling you offline that we were thinking of an idea for like movies that we never wanted to watch, but do that as a month. Requiem for a Dream was mentioned in that conversation. Like,
gotta be.
Yeah. But it's it's so grandiose and pompous in a lot of ways. Like, you can't help but laugh at how fucking absurd the movie is.
Absolutely. Like, it's one of those movies I feel better for have watched. And I've seen it multiple times, honestly, trying to absorb it.
Right.
But and the ultimate conclusion to me is if you don't watch it as a comedy, you can't watch it. It's like it's the misery is so absurd. It's so unrelenting that like what else can you do but laugh? Like it's like a Jim Thompson novel. Like you get to the end and the character's just like, well, what else I got here? This is like, it might as well be like raining fire.
Right. It's what we call a tragedy in every sense of the word. Like, yeah. But when it's one of those things where by the end of it, you look around and if you're the only character left standing, you kill yourself because like, that's what's expected of you. So yeah, fuck, man. Yeah. Aronofsky's rump. That is Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man too. God. Holy shit. That's the movie I did not know I wanted to see, but now I will probably not think of anything else for a while.
It could be his Ocean's 11. Like no one expected Steven Soderbergh to bust that one out, right?
That's true. Yeah. What would a Darren Aronofsky buddy comedy starring Don Johnson and Mickey Rourke in 2023 look like? It would look like, something that I'd want to watch.
And you know what? Everyone's all about the franchises, right? About the IP. The IP's out there. Everyone knows the name of this movie, even if they haven't seen it.
Yeah, everybody knows Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man. And they can fight Ronald McDonald.
Oh my God, you're right. They could deliver on everything the original movie promised. I'm gonna please make this movie. Somebody please make it.
It's actually they're opposite two other leads who are playing Ronald McDonald and the Burger King.
It would have to be not a fast food. It would have, because it's like some other product, like Jim Beam. Or
yeah, they've already done that one.
Did they do Jim Beam?
They did they did the other one. They did Jack Daniels.
Right, but they have Virginia Slim as well. Like, what products haven't they covered? Like, like Frost Slurpee.
Actually, you know what? That was the last thing I wanted to ask you before we give our final thoughts of the movie. If you were in this universe, what would your name be? Your character brand name?
Oh, I could pick like a product I really like call me Converse. Chuck All-Star or something like that,
Chuck Taylor. That would be your name. Chuck Taylor.
There we go.
I thought about it and I came up with two ideas for what my character name would be. One would be Furby.
Furby.
Or Dunkaroo.
No, we gotta go Furby.
Yeah, Furby.
Furby.
Furby. Wouldn't that just be the bizarrest? Just, hey, what's up, Furby? All right.
Furby. Yeah. And don't
Furby and Chuck Taylor.
Yeah. Chuck Taylor and Furby.
That sounds like a 70s cop show, like BJ and the Bear.
Yeah, 10-Speed and Brown Shoe.
Yeah, that should. Yeah, Chuck Taylor and Furby. That would be our weird band name. Chuck Taylor and Furby. It's like Simon and Garfunkel for the postmodern generation.
There you go.
God. Oh my God. Father Malone, final thoughts on Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man.
Deeply flawed, but wildly enjoyable. Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man. I am going to encourage everyone to watch it. You could probably pick it up free somewhere on a streaming service. So
Tubi.
There you go. Oh my God.
That's where I watched it. It was on Tubi.
You're going to have some commercial breaks. That's going to suck, but you're going to get all the boobs.
There we go. That's true. And in between the ads for the Charmin Bears and their dirty assholes, you can see breasts. So,
hey, if that sounds much worse now. Anyway,
I swear to God, dude, those Charmin ads, every time I see them, I'm like, we're talking about dirty buttholes in these ads, in euphemisms. And if we're not saying it out loud, then we should not be doing it quietly because it's fucking weird either way.
Charmin aside, Harley Davidson and the Marlboro.
Unilever, man. That's what I'm saying. Unilever would be a name. Charmin. You could be called Charmin in the Harley Davidson Marlboro Man sequel. Totally. Charmin, Tide, Bic.
All right, calm down over there. Listen, everybody watch Harley Davidson. It's got incredibly charismatic leads who are fun to watch the entire movie. Lots of boneheaded action. All the performances are solid except for the villains. I don't know what's going on there, why they decided there was going to be a big charisma-free zone when it comes to our antagonists for this movie. But you can get past all of that because it is so 1991. if you're nostalgic for 1991, this is your movie. If you have no idea what 1991 was possibly like, it's this.
Don Johnson's facial hair is so 1991.
100%. My God, I keep praising how good-looking Mickey Rourke is. Jesus Christ, Don Johnson was good-looking. I forgot how good-looking Don Johnson was.
He's still good-looking, bro.
I think I was waiting for the beard, like, because I was a big fan of Miami Vice. I was a little nerdy Miami Vice. I watched every week, man. I tried to dress like Don Johnson. I love that guy. So, part of the crashing disappointment in initially seeing the movie about Mickey Rourke's fall was kind of Don Johnson as well. But, again, reassessing him here, looking at that guy, Jesus God, man.
Yeah,
it's unfair. Some people walk this planet looking that good.
Have you seen what he looks like now, man? 73. If I look that good when I'm 73, like
Christ.
And look who his daughter is. I mean,
yeah, man, I'm a huge fan of her. She's really, really good.
I've come around on her big time, but that's because I've also really come around on how much I like that Suspiria remake.
She's great in that movie.
Yeah.
I contend she's good in everything she's in, even those terrible fucking,
Have you seen those movies, though?
I saw all 3 of those movies in the theater.
Ooh, doggies. I didn't watch them in the theater, but I watched them at home. Boy, not enough of any of the things. Yeah.
Talk about movies that don't deliver on what they promise.
You're right. All the sex that was not being had. Yeah.
I'm not showing up to a movie just for that, but if that's what you're advertising, then fucking you better go for it.
Yeah. If the horny housewives are reading it because they're horny, there's got to be something for them to get off to in the movie, guys.
No, just the hint of it is enough, evidently. Anyway, I love her dad. I love all those people. This is a good movie, and I encourage everyone to watch it.
Yeah, I won't go as far as to say it's a good movie, but it's a fun movie. It's a movie that's fun to watch. There's fun things that happen. Don Johnson and Mickey Rourke aren't in anything else together other than the upcoming sequel directed by Darren Aronofsky, hopefully. But I mean, again, unless that happens, we'll never see them in anything again together. And that's a shame because they're really good. Yeah, the villains are so bad that they are actively a negative draw on the movie, which if they were just lackluster, it would be fine, but they're actively charisma voids. And so, I mean, ultimately, yeah, it comes out way too late to really be one that is praised, but it does some interesting things, I think, ultimately. And it carves out a weird little niche of whatever they were going for, kind of succeeding, sort of, not failing as hard as I think everybody who was participating in the movie thought they did or thinks it did. So,
right.
But hey, we're our own harshest critics, so I get it.
Loves this movie? Bob Dylan, according to Mickey Rourke.
Amen.
Argue with Bob Dylan, humans.
Did you really learn how to shoot with a 45 or a 44? Yeah, well, what the fuck? Sure. Can you imagine that conversation? Mickey Rourke and Bob Dylan talking about this movie? Like, of all the things they want to talk about, Bob Dylan's like, I really loved this movie.
Yes, I love that. I hope it's true.
Yeah, me too. Like, what a weird thing to make up, but what a weird thing to also be true if it is.
Yeah, just a truth stranger than fiction, definitely here.
Yeah. So on that note, Father Malone, where can people find you when you're not here programming a bonus episode?
Well, you can hear me over at Midnight Viewing, the Night Gallery podcast, or Noise Junkies. It's a music podcast with HP and Heather Drain. Or you can hear Dark Destinations, or you can hear Night Mr. Walters, a taxi podcast. All available at weirdingwaymedia.com.
Same place for me. Weirdingwaymedia.com is where you can find this show and all the other shows that I work on, including, like Father Malone mentioned, some things that him and I work on currently, have worked on in the past, like Chronicles from the Crypt. Still a thing. It's done. You can go listen to the whole thing if you want to, and you should, because that was a pretty long undertaking. So, yeah. That's where you can find all the stuff I work on, weirdingwaymedia.com. As for this show, Kulturecast.com, Patreon.com. Big thanks as always to our Patreon supporters. Big thanks to you, Father Malone, for being adamant about wanting to watch this movie.
I'm glad I rewatched it, and I hope you're glad you watched it.
I am. I do have a soft spot for weird buddy cop movies. And I think you could do a whole podcast on buddy cop movies. And this would be one worth being in that lineup. Because, yeah, I have a soft spot for these kinds of movies. Like another movie we talked about, Wild Wild West, a buddy comedy. So
Tokyo.
Yeah. Like, what's the one with James Woods and Michael J. Is Michael J. Fox?
Yeah, The Hard Way.
Yeah. I mean, all of those. I'm a huge fan of a good, weird buddy cop movie, so I'm never gonna say no.
Midnight Run, the gold standard.
Isn't Men in Black in the gold standard as well? Like, that's a really
no.
That's fair.
Good. It's really good.
I mean, Tommy Lee Jones in that movie, man. Like, come on now.
People give that movie a hard time, but I really like that movie.
What?
Men in Black.
Yeah, I don't know why people give it a hard time. Like Tommy Lee Jones in a fun movie, like being fun, like
by not being fun. That's the best part of it. Is how he's playing it. He's not doing his fucking bad Joker impression in Batman. Can you imagine that guy giving that performance and criticizing Jim Carrey for the way he comports himself?
What does he say, sir? I will not stand for your tomfoolery, or whatever the fuck he said to Jim Carrey,
or something like that. Just jackass. I don't know.
Tommy Lee Jones is such a serious guy, but yet Men in Black 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh boy. Well, our tangents aside, make sure to catch us on the next episode.